Today we're going to talk about the most surprising fishing moments. Don't be confused, we're not talking about fishing as in a method of stealing sensitive data, but the act of catching fish. Fishing, in fact, provides employment to around 500 million people in undeveloped countries, and the total number of fishers is approximately 38 million. This technique is considered an art in certain places, and sometimes it can be a little chaotic, thus giving us these astonishing moments captured thanks to technology. Here are the most surprising fishing moments in the world. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more amazing content. So let's get started. The cast net fishing lottery in India. An ancient technique used in fishing is the well-known cast net. Even if you've never heard of it, we are sure you've seen it before. The net is thrown by hand into the air where it opens up before sinking into the water. Consequently, the fish are caught as the net is dragged back in. The cast net method has been improved over the years to catch massive amounts of fish. India is ranked third in fisheries production in the world with around 14.5 million of its people working in this industry. There are 3,827 fishing villages, so it's not a surprise that they even named a day to commemorate the fisherman, which is the National Fish Farmers' Day on July 10th. Leech Horrors. Leeches have been known to humans since ancient times. We all know about them, but we all hope to never come across them. The rivers around the world contain countless terrifying species of leeches. This species you see in the footage was rediscovered in the Amazon basin. Experts thought it had been extinct for a long time, but now it's back. The monstrous leech can grow up to 18 inches in length. It feeds exclusively on blood. These huge leeches could scare the wits out of the bravest people. Giant marlin jumps onto boat. No, we're not talking about Marlin from Finding Nemo. Marlin fishing is considered one of the top activities in game fishing because they're fierce and powerful sea creatures. Marlin are better identified by their spear-like snout and their dorsal fin on their lengthy body. Catching them can be quite an adventure, even a dangerous one, not only because they're kind of rare, but also they're among the fastest marine swimmers. It includes around 10 species, but the most pursued are the Atlantic blue marlin. Sometimes, in order to defend themselves after being captured, they jump directly onto the boat, scaring the fishermen and trying to escape. A brave plan venturing into the lion's den. Piranha bites pro-fisherman. Piranhas are amazing creatures, followed by a bad reputation. While a lot of people think they're incredibly dangerous and even man-eaters, they really are not. They've only suffered the consequences of bad propaganda. In fact, they eat a lot of different things and are mostly classified as omnivorous. The only way they can eat a human is if the human is dead or already dying. They don't like humans in their lunch, for sure, but they will bite them. For instance, in this video, a man was bitten by a black piranha. He was overjoyed by the animal's presence. The piranha took advantage and bit his finger. Piranhas have the strongest bites in bony fish, and the black piranha occupies first place. It has one of the wildest bites thanks to its large jaw muscles. And as a fun fact, piranha's teeth are replaceable. Though they're not replaced individually like shark's teeth, they are replaced in quarters. Bet you didn't know that. Magnet fisherman finds grenade. While fishing is more commonly used for foraging for food, there has been an increasingly new technique for lovers of the unknown, or should we call them modern pirates? We're talking about magnet fishing, a method that uses magnet forces to pick up magnetic objects underwater. Although it's not 100% certain, it's believed that this technique was born thanks to fishermen who want to recover their fallen keys in the water. Of course, you can find amazing things by magnet fishing, but only a few people consider its dangers. For instance, people have found unexploded World War II grenades and had to call the police. These grenades can be deadly serious, especially when they're unstable and can explode at any given point. If that wasn't alarming enough, bodies have been found this way. Once the corpse of a handcuffed man who was escaping from police was found by a magnet fisherman. Sinking away. Sinkholes are pretty frightening. If you don't believe us, check out this footage of a massive sinkhole opening and swallowing everything that came in its path. This giant sinkhole popped open in a Louisiana river due to rapid river erosion, which removed the trees from the riverbank. This erosion has rendered this marsh as one of the deadliest in the entire state. This sinkhole continued to expand and kept emitting toxic gases that are polluting the surrounding area too. The sinkhole is now beyond 25 acres in size and is still not slowing down. It's continuously growing and making the area uninhabitable. Amazonian fisherman finds giant anaconda. After watching movies like Anaconda, seeing one in person is definitely going to strike fear in anyone. If you're wandering throughout the Amazonian River, it shouldn't be surprising to encounter such a majestic animal. That's what happened in this video taken in 2014. Located in Brazil's Santa Maria River, a group of fishermen met this giant anaconda. Apparently, it was a green anaconda because they estimated it was 17 feet long, and it's the heaviest, longest, and largest snake in South America. The animal was minding its own business when they started poking it with a wooden oar. The snake tried to escape several times, but they kept bothering it by holding its tail. Thanks to this video, the fishermen were arrested and fined with $600 each. They also faced up to a year and a half in prison for breaking the environmental law that prohibits taunting and chasing wildlife. Justice is served. Kitten rescue. Catfishing? No, we're not talking about the famous MTV show where they find out how people are tricked into online dating. We're talking about literally catfishing. 5 years ago, two friends who were fishing at Warrior River in Hueytown, Alabama, caught something incredible. Jason Frost and Brandon Key saw something swimming but couldn't be sure what it was until they heard the meowing. They rescued the little kitten, and minutes later, a second cat appeared. They were identical, so the twins were now saved. When going back to the shore, a family saw them and they told them the whole story. The kittens found a new family. A happy ending indeed. Humpback whale almost swallows diver. After watching Finding Nemo, we sure believe that we're able to speak whale as good as our friend Dory. However, just like Dory and Marlin, we can also just be food to these massive animals. That's what happened in this video taken in 2013 by a group of divers who were nearly swallowed. Near the California coast, the video shows the quiet water until a huge number of fish appears, swirling next to the divers. That's when two humpback whales surfaced from the underwater just feet away from the divers and almost gobbled them. Thankfully, whales don't like humans in their dinner. They prefer eating tiny krill and fish. Still, that was a close call. Russian fishermen asleep on the job. Another technique used in colder places is ice fishing. This can be a very interesting method that sometimes requires a lot of patience. Opening a hole in the ice and using fish hooks or spears, a lot of people enjoy this kind of activity. Some even may be obsessed with it. But how much is enough? In this video, we see a man fishing, or should we say sleeping. He's laying on the ice floor when a person walks to ask him if he's okay. He's fishing. Well, we cannot be really sure about what he was doing, but maybe it's accurate to say that his belly was really cold. He might be a little drunk as well. Marlin fishing ritual. Mostly known as the Doggone Fish Festival, this fishing ritual is held once per year, generally in mid-March. The sacred ritual takes place in a pond called Antogo, and it only happens after the crocodiles are completely removed. It's an only men activity, and they use baskets with holes in both ends. When a fish is in the basket, they stick their arm through the other hole in order to hold the fish by hand for 30 minutes. They corner the fish in the middle of the pond. If they don't catch any fish, it's considered bad luck. Success means they'll have a good harvest during the year, along with a possibility of finding a wife, having kids, and it's even believed that ill family members can be healed. Even people who no longer live in Doggone return home to participate in this tradition. The pond is highly appreciated because of the lack of water in the region, and that's why it only takes place once a year. Jackpot bluefin tuna catch. Well, we're certainly not talking about the kind of fish you can find in the thousands of cans in a supermarket. Bluefin are the largest tuna, with a weight of up to 680 kilograms and a length of up to 3.7 meters. These animals are super fast and can dive 3,000 feet. They can live up to 40 years, except if they're caught and killed. Sadly, they're declared as endangered and have become extinct in the Black Sea. There are three different kinds: the Atlantic, which is the largest, Pacific, and Southern. The Atlantic bluefin tuna is not only highly prized as food, but also attracts a lot of attention from scientists, fishermen, and writers. They're also very common in the Japanese raw fish market as sushi and sashimi. In 1934, near Liverpool, the longest contest between men and tuna fish was recorded when 6 men tried to capture a 164 to 363 kilogram tuna for 62 hours. Rani, the fishing dog. Dogs love chasing things, but this one prefers going into water and catching something. Internet star Rani has been named the fishing dog after being filmed dozens of times showing her amazing skills. She's caught a bunch of fish and even turtles. Rani is a golden retriever, and her owner, Patty Aguirre, started showcasing her talents on YouTube. She's also a service dog in training and has her own squad called Golden Gang. To see how classy she looks while fishing, you can find her on Facebook as Rani the service dog who would rather be fishing. Rani loves her hobby so much and has never damaged any fish. What an adorable doggo. Skeleton of Mermaid. What you discover in the water might not always be to your taste. An unidentified source recorded a video of what appears to be a real decaying mermaid skeleton that was discovered on a beach while trying to catch some little fish in the sea. These little bones were found alongside a human-like head and tail bones, which were picked up out of curiosity and discarded as soon as they were aware of their true nature. There is a high likelihood that this was a juvenile mermaid that perished in some way or was maybe consumed by an apex predator. Many people believe that this may be a fake. Others believe it's quite trustworthy. Fish eating shark. An amazing example of a dead fish trying to devour a shark was discovered by an Indian fisherman during mud fishing. As the mud began to dry up, it became stuck midway, and it's likely that it died as a result of being unable to move or get rid of the prey. The shark corpse was so firmly lodged in the fish's jaws that it would not budge with water or force. In light of this, the only option left was to cut the fish in half and detach the shark from it. Cyclops albino shark. These types of animals would undoubtedly increase people's dread of sharks. An incredibly unusual capture obtained by a Mexican fisherman in the Sea of Cortez was a single-eyed albino cyclops shark. He came across a pregnant shark while fishing after it became entangled in a line and had its fetus ripped apart. The fisherman examined the remnants and found this strange-looking shark with only one eye in the front. Marine researchers examined the discovery and proclaimed it to be the first of its type to be officially validated. The origin of the discovery was attributed to the sea's quick rise in pollution. Fish in a whale. A whale unintentionally beached itself on the Mexican shore while engaged in a vigorous pursuit of its prey. The villagers then discovered something in the whale's mouth as they struggled to keep it submerged in water. Its mouth was strangely occupied by a large fish. The whale unintentionally beached itself while attempting to grab its prey, according to a local marine researcher. The whale was hauled back into the sea while being roped to boats with the aid of a fisherman after putting in numerous hours. Nightmare fuel. Lamprey eels are regarded as the vampires of the rivers. They're parasitic fish that don't possess jaws, instead they have mouths with rows upon rows of razor-sharp teeth. The fisherman in a river captured a lamprey eel and what it did next horrified the entire world. The eel looked scary and was a lot bigger than the ones usually seen. The head of this lamprey eel was bigger than the fisherman's fist. Because of this exceptional size, the fish is probably one of the scariest things to ever come out of a river. It almost looks like a deadly alien ready to suck out the blood of anyone who comes in its way. Methanogenic madness. In this footage you can see the aerial footage of a river in Australia. The bubbling in the water is caused by natural methane gas that bubbles up to the surface. It's actually a pretty common occurrence in swamps where the gas can be seen rising from the dark waters. Bog gas is actually one of the largest sources of natural methane in the atmosphere, and swamps produce billions of tons of methane each year. But one needs to be very careful when the gas is bubbling out, as it is highly flammable. This man probably didn't know that, so when he lit up a match he actually set fire to the river's surface. Lighting methane coming out of a river on fire is not a good idea, and you don't know how big the methane resource is. Massive catch. This capture was so enormous that word of it spread online. Since it weighed many tons, most animal lovers became alarmed by the capture since they thought it indicated a decline in the number of fish in the region. This video, which was released on the internet at random, depicts two fishermen who may have used a massive net to catch millions of fish. Fish flow all over the boat when one of the crew members loses control of the fish net. Typically, fishermen don't release young fish to prevent the species from becoming extinct. Before revealing the number one on our list, we wanted to show you this image. It's absolutely mysterious. It shows a group of fishermen who'd caught a ton of fish, apparently with only their rods. How did they do that? Usually when you want to catch that amount, you need a net or something similar. This number is outrageous. Did they crack the code? What's the secret? Let us know in the comments what you think about these videos, and before you go, be sure to smash the like button, share and subscribe for more amazing content. See you again.